Hey guys, it's time for another English tip in English, uma dica de inglês em inglês, ativa a legenda se quiser. The other day, I was sitting around this table playing a game with my friends. This is the game. It's called Say Anything, and it's kind of a word game. What happens is there is one dealer, and the dealer changes every time. The dealer starts off a round by reading one of these cards. On each card there are 5 questions, and they ask a question from the card. For example, what job would I most like to try for a week? Or what's the most fun sport to watch on TV? Who's the greatest author of all time? They choose one of these questions. Everyone else who's not a dealer has one of these little whiteboards, a small dry erase board. And they have a marker. And with the marker, they write on their card what they think the dealer would choose. So for example, let's say I'm the dealer. I would ask the question, what's the most fun sport to watch on TV? And one of my friends might write baseball. Another one might write hockey. Another might write basketball. They all put them on the table, and then I choose which one I think is the most fun sport to watch on TV. But before I choose, everyone else has chips. They bet on which one that they think that I would choose, and so on. It's a fun game, and something very interesting happened when I was the dealer of this game, when we were playing this game last week. Now, since I was the dealer, I had the card, and I read the question from this card. What makes people happy? What makes people happy? And so everyone with their card had to write what they think I would choose. One of the answers was money. Someone else put faith. One of my friends, Charles, put beer. And my friend Anna put giving. Now, I realized that some Brazilians would wonder why Anna wrote giving and not to give. If this game were played in Portuguese, the answers would be dinheiro, o fé, cerveja, and dar. So why did Anna write giving instead of give or to give? This is called the gerund in English, and it's a mistake that I see many Brazilians make when they need to use the gerund in English, but they forget to use it because it doesn't exist in Portuguese. And I want to explain a simple rule that will help you to remember when you should use the gerund. First, I need to mention that the gerund has the exact same form as the present participle in English. So, in Portuguese, think of dar and dando. Dando is the present participle of dar, like continuar dando feedback. In English, this is to continue giving feedback, with the ing at the end of give, giving. The gerund looks like giving. It's written the exact same as the present participle of every verb in English. But we use the gerund when we want a verb to be used as a noun. Let's look at our answers again. We have money, which is a noun. We have faith, which is a noun. We have beer, which is a noun. And the question is asking for a noun too. The question is, what makes people happy? Not how do you make people happy, and then a verb is an answer. The question is asking for what. And so giving here is a noun. By making the verb into a gerund, Anna made a noun. And so giving is the 4th noun on the table here. You could also think of it this way. Anna could have written the action of giving, action is a noun, and it answers the question perfectly. Giving literally means the action of giving. And so in Portuguese, this would be a ação de dar, right? Dinheiro, fé, cerveja e ação de dar. And so to remember, if you need to use the gerund in English, in Portuguese, if you can put a ação de before the verb, then you have to use the gerund in English. So let's think of some other examples. Things that we like, right? Ela gosta de futebol. She likes soccer. Soccer is a noun. Perfect. But what if we want to say ela gosta de jogar futebol? I've seen some Brazilians make the mistake of saying she likes play football, but we need to use the gerund here. We need to make the verb into a noun. Remember that in Portuguese, you could say ela gosta da ação de jogar futebol. And because of that, you need to use the gerund in English. She likes playing soccer. She likes playing football in England. Another example, let's talk about hobbies. My favorite hobby is reading. O meu hobby favorito é ler. É a ação de ler, né? So, my favorite hobby is not to read. My favorite hobby is reading. But if I were to say a sentence like eu quero ler 19 livros em 2019. I want to read 19 books in 2019. I don't say I want to reading. I don't use the gerund aqui. I don't use the gerund here. Nossa, abrasileirando meu inglês. Think of it in Portuguese. Eu quero ler 19 livros. I can't say eu quero a ação de ler 19 livros. That doesn't make sense here. Finally, we use the gerund all the time with phrasal verbs. All the time. And it's because with phrasal verbs we're talking about a ação de fazer alguma coisa. For example, he always puts off doing his homework. Ele sempre adia fazer os deveres de casa, né? And so he always puts off the action of doing his homework. Ele sempre adia a ação de fazer os deveres de casa. That's why we need to say he always puts off doing his homework and not he always puts off to do his homework, something like that. And one of the most common mistakes that I see is with the phrasal verb to look forward to. So when you are looking forward to something, você está esperando ansiosamente, você não vejo a hora, mal pode esperar. You're looking forward to a thing, a noun. So maybe I'm looking forward to the U2 concert. Or maybe I'm looking forward to Christmas. But many times, probably most of the time, you're looking forward to an action. So maybe you're looking forward to the action of seeing someone again, right? Você não vê a hora de ver alguém de novo. And so because it's an action, but we need to make it into a noun, we use the gerund in English. So, eu não vejo a hora de te ver, espero ansiosamente para te ver. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm looking forward to the action of seeing you. Espero ansiosamente a ação de te ver, de batermos um papo, pormos um papo em dia, enfim. É isso. That's it. So, try to think of this little trick. Try to remember in Portuguese if you can put a ação de, and I think that it will make it a lot easier for deciding when it is that you need to use a gerund. Okay? I love giving tips like this, and I see that you all are making fewer and fewer mistakes. I hope that you enjoy studying English and that you continue to study English. We're in this together. Tamo junto. And hey, check out this game too. Say anything. It's super fun. And I'm always noticing little things like these that I wonder that if I were playing this game with Brazilians, would they understand? So, thank you guys, and I'll see you next video. Peace out.